Did you have people frequently come to the house or just once in a while during the Depression?
But once in a while, you never got the same person twice.
Oh, really?
They just spread the word.
And they get a plate to eat of whatever you were eating at
With
the
a
time?
knife and a fork, and the knife and the fork usually is set like that.
Right.
I'm done. Thank you.
Did they come into the house to eat?
No.
I remember somebody coming and knocking at our back door when I was a kid, and we had a girl who lived with us, and he asked if he could have a cup of coffee. And I was so glad when she poured him a cup of coffee, and she took 2 pieces of bread and buttered 2 pieces of bread and gave it to him with the coffee. I was very small, and I was just so relieved that she gave him more than just the cup of coffee. Yeah. But
some building on that. When there wasn't a lot, of money,
Yeah.
did you have you had chickens in the backyard too?
Oh, yes.
So did you have a garden?
Not really.
No.
We tried with the birds, not the birds, but the squirrels ate faster than we could.
Right, right.
But actually, your experience with Bob and Jack on the farm, that was just prior to the Depression, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the late 1920s. And it was the Depression that brought that experience to an end. Right. So what were you gonna ask, Eric?
I was just wondering what your best memory is of it, or favorite memory is from the farm.
From actually living on the farm.
Mm-hmm. And about some of the events that happened while you were there.
Yes. And I can't think of any one that's the best.
Could I suggest the ones that I got the biggest kick out of when you and I were talking about it last year, and Eileen was still living, and we were seated in the living room. I had my pad and pen there because Eric had suggested that you write about the summers at the farm, and I just decided that I was going to try and be a secretary. And Eileen was sitting in her chair, and I was sitting in another chair, and you were sitting in your chair, and I started asking you some questions. The story that I had heard about beforehand that blew me away was the one about Bob and Jack cleaning their guns. And I think we started out with that.
Yeah, but that wasn't a joyful.
No, only in the retelling
It's
of
a wonder
it.
we're here.
I think only in the retelling of it that it gained sort of a dramatic quality to it. But you must have been scared to death when you were a kid, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's going to
Who's going to get shot next?
Who's going to come back home to me?
Yeah.
Never thought about it from that respect, but you were the youngest and you depended on your older brothers to kind of look after things.
Right.
Yeah.
So were you scared?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
What about when Bob, you said to me one time that you thought that Bob could have been a surgeon.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you told the story about his pet chicken Maggie. And I'd never heard that one before.
You never heard it?
I had
Did you
never
ever
heard
hear
that
it?
before.
Me, no.
Nobody heard it?
I heard it.
You heard it. George heard it.
We want to hear it again.
Well, when the chicken house moved back to the farm from Newark, and the chickens were brought in and put down inside the house, and Bob opened the chute and let the chickens run into the run, which is about as big as this table. And what?
And they were eating all kinds of
Oh,
seeds.
they got out into the yard. We had mowed, hand mower. That's how did Pop get that up there? Anyway, it was there. And they ate, and then they saw other birds eating seeds and things, and they found a way out. But Maggie was staggering, and she couldn't stand up straight.
And Maggie was Bob's pet chicken, right?
Yeah, she was. Which was a mistake,
Why?
because she damn near died from it.
Yeah, but tell the story of how Bob saved her.
Bob noticed what was happening. Maggie was eating too damn much. So he locked her in the house and found out how she got out, or they got out. He left the others fend for themselves, and Maggie was staying in the house, in the chicken house. Still couldn't stand up straight.
Hmm.
Bob decided that she's crop bound. The chicken will take so much food into its crop, hold it there and digest it, and then mess up your front yard. So she still wasn't satisfied, and that Bob decided something's got to be done or she'll die. So he thought about it, and he said, she's got to have an operation, and you got to help me. He met Jack. He said, you got to hold her feet and her now, her wings and her head. See, how are you going to do it? Jack said, leave it with me. So they said, we have nothing to do with these butter knives won't cut a thing. So we had to get an old razor and sharpen it up and clean it. So they did. I don't know where they got that razor. I think from the farm next door.
I think actually, Bob, you went into Bob, I think you went into town. I think you went into Pluckerman and,
Yeah.
and bought some supplies.
Yeah, but we didn't buy a razor that had a handle on
Oh, okay. This is something new.
No safety razor. They just, you know.
Yeah.
no dash-
Like like the straight razor.
it. So
Yeah.
anyway, he decided we have to go into town and find out what we can do and get away with. So they decided we'll go down on our bikes and see what we got. I think Bob had about $1 left. Pop gave him a few bucks for the whole week. If he didn't get there, they went hungry or got help from somebody. But he didn't let them starve. Anyway, they got on their bikes and went into town, into the general store. And as far as I could see, there was only the one store in that whole area. And they went inside, and the man said, "Can I help you boys?" And Bob said, "Yeah, we want a couple of things." And We don't know if you carry them. And he said, well, what are they? I said, we need a razor with a handle. So there is a safety razor with a short, about an inch long
Mm-hmm.
razor blade with a handle on it.
Mm-hmm.
That we need. He said, we also need a bottle of iodine, a small bottle of,
Ether?
Bob couldn't think of anything, and I think he saw witch hazel.
Needles and thread too, I think you said. Needles and thread.
Oh, the needles and threads, but
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I'm not a very good talker. And, well, he couldn't think of anything else he needed. It's a needle, a thread, a bottle, a spool of white thread. And the guy says, what do you want this all for, boys? And Bob's the speaker. I don't know, my mother wants them.
Oh. So of course you got it.
So they got the stuff, got home. Maggie's still in the house, but she couldn't get out. Bob got her. Okay, Jack, you didn't tell me how. But Jack had hammered a couple of nails in the trunk of a tree that had been cut down years ago.
And
And it
just
was just bare
a
top.
stump. Yeah.
Stump. And Jack tied the feet both together and tied them to one of the nails, tied the wings so they couldn't flap, and put his hand over the head so she couldn't see what was coming. I guess.
Or so he couldn't see the eyes looking at him.
She never said. But anyway, he swabbed some of the witch hazel on where he knew he wanted to cut. And he scraped away with the razor until it got itself a bare spot, about 2 inches long, and a couple inches, or maybe just an inch wide. And he says, I can't stop now. I don't want to do this, but I can't stop.
Took guts.
Where were you? Watching?
And he did it.
He cut it open, had a teaspoon sterilized, what we thought was, scooped it out and put it on a plate. There's a million little seeds.
Oh.
So he cleaned it out as good as he could and sewed it up as good as he knew how. And after about an hour, he let the chicken go. And damned if she didn't get back to eating the seeds.
That's quite a story.
So what did he do? Did he corral her so she couldn't do it?
I don't remember that.
And so, Dad, where were you when all this was going on? You were watching?
Standing watching.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I'll bet you were glad you were the youngest.
You're probably the scrub nurse handing him the stuff.
Yeah.
Wiping his brow.
Yeah. And the
Well-
other story, do we have any time?
How
Do we
old
have
were
any
you?
time left?
How old were you when this happened?
Probably 10.
You were 10?
Wow.
He was
So
9 when
Pop
they
was-
first went up there. 9,
Yeah.
11,
9.
and 13.
Oh my God.
Bill, the other story, and this is a happy one, and I never heard this one until I know Eileen and George were there because I think this came out at the dinner table about when Bob and Godfrey brought the pistol out to the farm, and they were going to have a contest, and from somewhere they got the Sunoco oil can.
No concert, nothing fancy. That's getting blown out of.
No, but it's just a cute story that they put a broomstick in the ground with a Sunoco oil can on top, and we're going to use that for a target.
Right.
So tell that story. That's a good one.
Well, everything was put in place, but the thing is that Godfrey never should have had permission. He was part of the National Guard.
And I think it wasn't
Bob
the
was
national.
joining,
Yeah, it was the Essex Troop.
yes.
Yeah, the Essex Troop, which was for school kids. It was a semi-military kind of group for school kids. I know some of the guys I went to school with belonged to the Essex Troop.
So then, Dad, what happened?
Well, they never got involved with school.
Okay.
No, but outside of school. But tell the story about the guy